Kia ora, Tefano. Welcome back to Two Tipsy Plants podcast, where we talk plants and drink booze. My name is Sasha.
And my name is Sasha. And it's a good thing that you have started this podcast because I would fuck it up as per usual.
Why as per usual? You did okay last time.
I forgot my name. My name is Sasha.
You did a little bit, yes. I do agree. You did forget your name. That's okay. Right, so today's episode is going to be different from what we usually do again. I cannot see you because of this begonia.
It's a big begonia.
I rate it in my face.
I rated invasive.
Yes, so in this episode we will be rating our own houseplants. Maybe we will talk about the actual rating and what the ratings mean in a bit, because it's Friday evening, which means that it is time for what?
Wine.
Wine. It is time for our poison of choice. So Sasha,
what
is
wine
that?
O'clock.
Yes, it is a wine o'clock. Every day is a wine o'clock.
So today is going to be a treat for people from who actually watch our video on Spotify. It's going to be a charade.
A charade?
A charade.
Okay.
So.
Sasha is showing a spider. I do not know what Sasha is showing. That looks like a spider. Not quite a spider, smaller. Tarantula. You show bigger. Smaller. Flying. A fly? Yes, time to drink, yes. 2 drinks. 2 words. Okay. First one is... Are you grabbing boobs?
Okay.
Second word. A can. Pickles. Chugging. I don't know what you're showing.
I was trying to recreate one of the older movies, kind of charade. It was Beetlejuice.
I have not seen Beetlejuice. Oh, was that a beetle? Oh my god.
I was trying to make a beetle, yes, and it wasn't a can of pickles. It was
Juice.
It was juice.
Okay,
It's fine. I tried.
So
Please cue up the song when you try your best but you don't succeed.
I think both of us suck at charades.
So yeah, today we're drinking Beetlejuice, Pinot Noir from Central Otago. The vintage is 2020.
Have we drunk that before?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
No, maybe not. Just the name sounds familiar.
Maybe because of the movie.
Beetlejuice.
So this bottle of wine, let me just open the description. It has the lifted scent of bubblegum with fruity layer and youthful charm. Yeah, so that's going to be quite nice.
So is that a Pinot or Pinot Noir?
This is Pinot Noir.
Okay.
And this one is from Central Otago, from Cromwell.
Oh, yes.
Right there.
Oh, wow. Look at Sasha pointing at the map that is right above us. Also, this is something that I made ages ago for Sasha, and it's so appropriate. I think we should, you know what, maybe we should set up a studio in this room, in this corner, just keep this here, and, you know, it's a daily reminder. Save water, drink wine.
This one is actually my favorite area of Central Otago. It's Bergburn, and this one, in particular, is a vineyard, soil types of Felton Rolled vineyard.
So for those who are not watching, we have a map of Central Otago vineyards above us, and yes.
So yeah, most of the wine for Felton Road is harvested from this area, which you will find Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays, a little bit of Riesling and a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc, but also they have a little bit over there, Cromwell. This one is not from Felton Road, unfortunately, because Felton Road is a little bit expensive. But should be as good.
Felton Road is such a hit and miss depending on the year.
I think it also depends on variety of not the vintage, but not the layer.
the premium.
The
sort of-
premium selection.
Yeah, but I mean, even their premium selections is such a hit and miss. Oh no, sorry, I'm actually thinking of Mount Difficult,
Yes.
which is again from the same area too. Good job.
I'm being lazy today.
Yum.
I haven't had wine for a week and a half. That's outrageous for me.
Mm. Bubblegum, that's an interesting description. Ching. Oh, definitely smells really good. Gosh, it's a good Friday drink.
She's
I can
quite
tell
fruity.
you that.
I like that.
Yeah. Very fruity.
Okay,
Very nice.
and if you want to hear more about the Pinot Noir wines and more descriptions, we will be talking about it later on, maybe in episode 3.
Yeah, we still have Sauv Blancs.
We still need to record the Sauvignon Blanc episode, and then we can record the Pinot Noir.
Yep.
Yep.
Life is
busy.
yes. We're trying our best, but yes, we will be doing a Sauvignon Blanc episode very soon.
Very soon.
Okay, so as mentioned before, actually, let's try some wine. She needs to breathe. Yeah, it needs to decant just a little bit.
Yeah, she's a little bit. How's it? Not tight. Tight.
Yeah, tight. That's an interesting description for wine, but like, yeah, I feel like it needs to open up. Spread its legs.
Spread legs.
Yep. For those who live in New Zealand, they will understand that joke.
All right. So
Anyway.
The format of today's podcast will be us describing the plants that we have, and we're going to be scoring them by visual, by the ease of care, and by the price. I think.
I actually rated it as like money. It's not really a price, but it's more of like
Yeah.
a resale to the purchase price. Call it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
I also took a liberty to add another column, which is it newbie proof?
Okay, yeah, that's a good. I can add comments to it, even though I didn't rate it here. But like, yeah, it's a good thing to add. So we will be rating each category of each plant on a 3-bar scale. So 1 being poor and 3 being great.
Yeah.
So 2 is sometimes it's maybe like 2 is more of a middle ground. So 2 is like where 3 is great and 1 is But I like wine. Sasha just took a glass out of my hand and put it on the table, and I'm like, no, bring it back.
Taste nice.
Well, hence I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to hold it and warm it up a bit. All right, Sasha,
Yes.
I would let you start because you have more plants than I do.
Well, I have done the stock take today because that kind of goes hand in hand with description of what kind of plants you have, and I have 103 plants potted, and that
Different varieties or just 103 plants in total?
103 plants in total.
Yep.
And that is excluding the cuttings and stuff that is in an aquarium. So that's going to be another like 50.
And if you are to see, I'll try to rotate the view of this camera to the aquarium if I can, if I remember to.
If you do it,
Before I
do the
export
other way so people
Yeah.
don't see the...
Yes, yeah, it's a bit of a. We had to quickly reorganize this room, but yeah, there is an aquarium right in front of us, and it has a lot of cuttings, and there is also one. Is that pothos?
Yeah, that's a golden pothos that is taking over the room, and
Which
my
is
maps-
growing from the fish tank, isn't it?
From the fish tank, it have started off as a small cutting, but it obviously loves it because honestly, grow your plants in aquarium. It is the best thing you can do for it, especially if it's aeroid, because it has constantly aerated water. The temperature of the water is always on a stable level.
And it always has a fertilizer.
It always has a fertilizer. And the flow of water, like, it's not stagnant water, it's always flowing and filtering. So you will end up having a nice, what do you call it? Nice biome in your aquarium as well, because you will essentially filter out all the nitrates which come with decomposing of the food for your aquarium fish.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have 103 plants
yes,
and
sorry.
cuttings.
I have 103 plants and cuttings, and the first plant I'm going to start with is going to be Monstera deliciosa.
I
Because
actually did not include it in my list because I knew that you will talk about it.
I mean, you can't really pass by it. It's going to be on the first list for everybody.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yep.
I feel like I'm a bit quiet.
I can bump this level up later.
It's fine. So yes, I have rated it. Visual score is 3, just because it's iconic. I've also added a bonus point of 0.5 out of 1. It's like if it has a flower or not. Like for Monstera, it does flower and it has a cool fruit, but the flower.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like how often it flowers.
It's more about like how noticeable and how nice is the flower. But this one I just like did bonus points, which is like 0 and 1. Like if it flowers or not flowering.
Okay.
I mean, all the plants flower, but it's not really impressive.
Okay, can
flower.
we rate it on a 3-bar scale then? Just still make it a 1.
Okay,
1 to
then
3?
it will be a 1.
Yeah. That's a bit easier to understand. So if everything is 1 to 3,
yeah.
So I would also rate it like how often it flowers, and it would definitely be a 1 because it doesn't flower that often.
It does produce the edible fruit, which is quite toxic as well. If you do it wrong,
if you eat it too early, it's toxic. But then,
so yeah, that's a 1.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, edibles.
Was it the edible?
Whatever kills you makes you. What doesn't kill you makes you
eat it. Yeah.
The other thing I've rated it on is ease of care, and that category is separated into 4 different categories, which is watering. For watering, it is 2 out of 3.
Gosh, you went all out. Mine is literally just visual care and resale value.
But yeah, watering is 2, just because you need not to overwater it. If you underwater it, it will tolerate it. It has thicker roots. For the sun, I think it's easy as well. I rated it as 3.
Yeah, it depends on, like, if it's a younger plant, if you actually grow it in a sunnier area, it will always love the sunnier area.
Yeah.
If it's a mature plant that's always been in the shade and then you put it in the sun, it might struggle. But to be fair, every plant will struggle.
Yeah, even the ones that usually go in direct sunlight will struggle
if you put it from one extreme to another extreme. Yeah.
Then, so watering 2, sun 3, because it's quite versatile. You can have it in a shady area and you can have it in a full sun area.
Mm-hmm.
Trim wise, like care and maintenance 2.
I would say 2 as well, because the only maintenance.
Fucking roots.
Yes, that's what I want to say. Those aerial?
Mm-hmm.
Aerial?
Aerial roots, yes.
Because if you don't redirect them, and if you have your monstera growing next to a wall, that shit is gonna stick to your wall, and monstera is gonna use it as a support to climb up your wall.
And then your wall is going to be completely screwed, and you will have to replaster it.
Yes, you will have to take all the wallpaper with that little root. So what I do at home is I redirect those roots back to the pot.
I cut them.
I just redirect them back to the pot, and it seems to keep the plant happy.
It's just so many roots you can redirect. I did start at some point braiding it. And then the other rating point I've done was bugs, how acceptable it is to pests.
Mm-hmm.
So I've rated it as 3, which means it's like me myself, I did not have any problems with it.
Yeah, so 3 is good, which means it doesn't get attacked by pests that often. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
At least not on my experience. Price-wise, it's 3 because it's quite attainable at this moment. It did go through a crazy stage, especially with all the tech installations and all the elbows. Regular ones, if you're looking into a big plant, you can get for $50. If you want start with a smaller plant, it can be $15.
What do you reckon in terms of resale value? So when I rated my plants, I kind of thought about resale value in terms of like, if you buy a smaller plant, and then if you are to grow it to, let's say, triple the price of the plant, and how long it will take to actually reach that?
Well, you can buy a cutting, like, if you're very lucky, you can buy, not a cutting, but
a knot?
Seedling of Monstera. Sometimes they used to sell them at one of our
box stores.
box stores.
You've actually gifted a seedling to me once.
It was like $5.
Yeah, but it took it so
yeah, you're the best to answer with that question.
yeah, because it took it a good. I'd say it's like
2 years. 3
no,
years.
it's more than that. It's 3 to 4 years now. And it's about at the same height as you would buy your monsteras, like your typical grade monsteras from the shop. So 5 to like what are they, 50? Would you reckon? So times 10 in 4 years.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it either. Yeah.
So yeah, there is that. And is it newbie proof? I would say yes, it's newbie proof.
Yeah, we thought we'll discuss that as well, whether like as a new houseplant owner, as a new houseplant daddy or mummy or a non-binary person, it's
Caregiver.
yeah, actually, yeah. Houseplant caregiver. Houseplant. What's the when a child is assigned to you? What is the right term for
Oh
it?
my gosh.
Guardian.
Yes. Of the
Guardian?
galaxy.
Of the plantaxy. As a new owner of that plant, like how newbie proof it is in terms of how much you know about houseplants and stuff. I do agree. It is pretty newbie
Pretty
proof.
easy care, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you just overwater it or leave it over winter outside.
With my plants, you might have to guide me through your categories, and I'll just add the rating on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that lands Monstera in a 20 out of 23.
Oh, that's actually good. So that means if you want a house plant and you're not that familiar with house plants, Monstera is a way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Alexandra, you're next.
Oh, yes.
I have them too.
That's good. We can compare that. So I kind of thought that I'll put Hoyas all together.
all Hoyas.
Yeah. Well, because it's a bit difficult. They are different, and some of them do have different growth
patterns
like,
and
let's say,
a bit more finicky as well.
Let's say Fishtails and Bella, they're more cascading Hoyas, where like your Carnosa is the actual climbing one.
Shall we just maybe clump them into climbing/vining Hoyas? Because cascading are different. They have different gear.
Let's do that. Let's do the climbing ones first then.
Yeah.
Okay. So visual.
Yeah.
I have 3.
It's a 3 for me as well.
I absolutely love the way they look.
The bonus for flowering?
It flowered 3 times this season, my Carnosa.
This season.
Yeah, we're not drinking vodka, by the way. We're drinking wine.
Or 1?
3.
3.
Absolutely 3. I love the way it looks. I mean, you know my favorite one that I have in the kitchen, the Hoya Wreath.
Hoya Carnosa that looks like a Christmas wreath, and it always blooms and makes your husband sneezy. And it also drips all the juices on top of everybody.
So yeah, but I'll take a picture of it and we might post it on Instagram. But visual wise, I love it because you can pretty much create any frame for it to climb on and just let it grow and it flowers and it's beautiful. Visual wise 3. Do you reckon 3 as well?
I said 3. And nice. I also did the bonus for 3.
The flowering.
Yeah, for flowering, because it also like has potent, strong smell.
I think I would rate it as 3, maybe actually 2.5. Do you know why? Because once you get it right, it takes a good couple of years before it starts flowering. But then when it starts flowering, it never stops. So hence I would say 2.5 maybe instead of 3. And the flowers.
What would make it 3 then?
No, I mean in terms of how often it flowers. So I'd say 2.5 because it does flower every season, but to get there, it usually takes a couple of years of not flowering and then it starts flowering.
Well, compared to all other plants on our list for the indoor plants, I think Hoya will be the one that blooms the most.
One off, yes, I agree. And in terms of the actual flower, definitely 3. Beautiful flower, beautiful smell.
And so many different varieties of flower and varieties of smell.
Yeah. In terms of care, my overall is 2. But let's go one by one. Watering, 2.
2.
Because you shouldn't overwater it, but it will be okay if you underwater it. You know what I mean? Like it's quite drought tolerant. That's what I find.
It's waxy, it's thick leaves, so it has capacity to store it.
Yes, yeah. Yep. So, yeah. Well, we agree on that. Cool. Next.
Sunlight.
I'd say 2 as well.
I said 3. Because you need to sun stress them so it can handle direct sunlight. It can be indirect sunlight and it can be in shade. But in shade it will grow very slowly. In direct sunlight it will grow very quickly and will give you sun-stressed leaves, which is like what sun-stress is red hue to tinge to the leaf.
Okay. Never thought about it that way. Okay. I'd still leave it at 2 because all of my Hoyas are actually in like part shade.
That was your choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the only
Yeah.
placement that I'm familiar with. So
Yeah.
hence I'd leave it at 2. Okay.
Yeah, if you notice, all my Hoyas are literally on the windowsill and I don't move them anywhere else.
What's the next?
The next one will be the trim. And for this one, I gave it a 2 because it just grows like crazy and you need to keep on trimming it and rooting it because I don't have heart to throw it away.
Well, yes, or you just have a loopy frame like I do, and you just keep wrapping it around itself, and it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Not everybody has 3-meter ceilings.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's more than that in that room. It's in my kitchen, and I have like cathedral. I don't know if you'd call it cathedral, but it's not. I don't have a ceiling. I have a peached roof, and I can see like the purlins and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And after that, we have the bug resistance.
I would say 3. I've never seen a single bug on it.
I said 2 because my Hoyas, when they flower, on the flowers and on the new shoots, you have shit tons of aphids.
Never seen it in my Hoyas because I had aphids on other plants in my house, but not on Hoyas.
But yeah, that's what my Hoyas are suffering from. But they're not really suffering, to be honest, because I just literally pick aphids with my fingers and just wash it down the sink, and that's it.
Okay. I would say with care as well. I remembered why I put it as 2. It's easy to care, but
Easy to forget.
no, it makes so much mess with the flowers and flower
Yes.
dropping. So especially the one that I have that is just hanging from the ceiling, almost not quite above the dining table, but very close to the dining table, and it keeps dropping flowers, and they get sticky because of the sap that the flowers produce, and they get all over the floor, and my husband loves it, absolutely loves it.
Shout out to husband.
Yes, for
Coping with
yes,
this.
coping and tolerating with this. Best husband ever. Okay.
Next one is price.
So price-wise, to buy climbing Hoyas, non-variegated ones, I think it's pretty affordable.
Yeah, I mean,
Also depends on how big your actual
yes, I
plant
mean,
is.
size-wise, once you go bigger, it doesn't matter what kind of plant you're buying; it's going to break your bank a little bit. For Hoyas these days, if you go to marketplace, you can find it affordable, even if it's variegated to something a bit more on a rarer side. So I wrote it. I've wrote it as 2.
Yeah, mine is also 2. But also I thought about resale value, and
I would say resale value will be 3.
I'd say so. Especially like imagine if I'm to resell my wreath.
Yeah, because it's just like you can make so many cuttings. Even if she sells each cutting, which is going to be like 20 centimeters, for $5,
I wouldn't even think about cuttings, but if I'm to sell the whole plant, it would definitely be like in 200s price.
Yeah, but you would probably make more money on cuttings.
If I want to, but then why would I if it's such a beautiful, already formed plant? Yeah. So resale is definitely 3D. Like, it's up to you how you'd like to resale it as a full trained plant or as cuttings. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And the newbie proofness, I would say 3. They're
With
quite
climbing
easy.
ones, yes, they are very easy.
With the ones...
With the cascading ones are a bit fiddly.
Cascading ones, I would say everything is the same, all the scorings, but the newbie proofness will be a little bit less.
But also the watering. I feel like they want more water. I don't know why, but mine want more water.
Mine doesn't.
Okay, no, mine want more water definitely because I have fishtails and I have Bella, the cascading ones.
Bella, I can't grow Bella. Like, it keeps on rotting because I can't put my finger on how much water does she need.
Mine actually doing really well. That little cutting that you gave me does very well. And then I did another cutting off it and put it above my TV.
I'm so happy for you.
Well, I can give you a cutting back.
No, thank you.
You can have a baby of your baby.
No, I don't. I don't need another baby. I have 103 babies to take care of, and they're all hungry.
The wine is
not getting better.
No, it's a bit average, unfortunately. Like, it's still drinkable. It's Friday. Come on, I'll still drink it. But
yeah, it's not a wow, and not for the price that I bought it for.
Yeah, we had better Pinot Noirs.
That was a little bit sad. I'm sorry, guys, from Beetlejuice, but could have been better.
I mean, some people might like it. It's just not our cup of tea. All right, what's the next plant?
The next plant will be Melanachrysum. That's a philodendron. Oh my gosh, I know
which philodendron is it? Do you have it here?
No, it is located in the living room. So imagine a shield, which is
is it the one in a big pot?
Big pot climber. It's like a
shield. Is it in terracotta pot?
Terracotta pot.
Okay, yep, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
It has a shield shape, velvety, dark green. I love it. It grows very quickly as well.
Yeah, it kind of has like 3 parts to a leaf, right? It's like a shield, but it kind of is like.
No, I think you're talking about a different plant.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Okay.
But visual-wise, I said it's 3 just because it's a beautiful velvety dark green.
Okay, now I know the one that you're talking about. Yes, it used to be by the.
It's in a corner in the living room.
Yes.
by the entrance.
Yes.
Visual-wise 3. Bonus for flowering, no, it doesn't flower. At least not for me. Easiness of care. For watering, I've said that it's going to be a 2. Just because if you overwater it, you're gonna lose it. And the only reason I'm not overwatering it is because I am actually not watering it at all. I am watering it through the moss ball. So whatever water it gets through the moss ball, that's all it gets. Sun-wise, it gets a 3 because it can tolerate.
It wasn't a very sunny spot before you guys actually built the deck, right? Because it was right in front of that door.
It was always quite sunny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it was in a sunny spot. Yeah. Because did you move it a bit from the door? I'm assuming now.
No, still there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's still there. It's not direct sunlight. It is indirect sunlight with a sheer curtain.
Oh, that's better. At least I can see your face now.
I wanted to hide. So yeah, it's indirect sunlight with a sheer curtain.
Sheer curtain?
But if you are to grow it in a shady area, it will grow smaller leaves, and it will be more like philodendron micans. Trimming wise, I give it a 2 just because it grows like crazy, and you need to keep on top of the trimming game. And if you don't know how to root it, because it's a little bit tricky to root it, if you're gonna do it with the rooting in water method, it will probably rot quicker than it will root.
Okay. So would you do the moss on the ball thing?
I'm doing the moss balls, and that's the only way it actually roots for me. And not losing leaves.
It's rooting for you.
Yes. I was rooting for you. How dare you? I don't know if you know the Tyra Banks reference. No. So yeah, trimming. Yes, it's growing like crazy. You need to keep on trimming it. Blah blah blah. Bugs wise, I gave it a 3. I didn't have any problems. Some people have aphids problems with that.
I'm surprised that
not aphids. Spider mites.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say I'm surprised that your Hoyas are getting aphids, but your freaking expensive philodendrons don't.
And price-wise, I gave it a 3 because, well, it was a 1. It was very expensive. A year and a half ago. It was like maybe 2 years ago.
Did you buy it as a cutting or as a?
I bought it as a big plant when it was fucking expensive. But
Sasha likes his plant.
I got it. I got my money back anyways. But now it's a 3. Is it newbie proof? I would say it's a 2.
I've never had it, so I can't really tell you anything.
If you ask your questions from a right person and they give you right directions on the potting mix and how to grow it and the growing patterns, it will be a 2 for newbies. Still a 2. So that lands it in 18 out of 23.
I wonder what Hoya would do. I think Hoya's would do like a 20s.
Hoya was 19 out of 23.
Okay. So mine would be 20 because I think my one rating was higher than yours. So it's still in the higher, upper quadrant of it. Okay. Do you know what I have next?
What do you have next? Calathea.
No, Strelitzia reginae.
Reginae or the Nicola?
No, Nicola is the smaller one. Reginae is the bigger one.
Other way around.
No,
Yes.
No, Nikolai.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nikolai is the white one.
Yeah. Nicola is 3-meter one.
The one that I have is not Nikolai.
That's a Nikolai.
It's the white flowering one.
Yes.
Oops.
That's a Reginae. The drawing.
Yes, you are correct. I'm just thinking about it when we've actually specified because in fungare, you can actually grow it
as an outdoor plant.
Yes, and this is what we specified. Oops. Okay.
I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Bird of Paradise.
Yes.
Okay. Visual, a solid 3.
A solid 3.
Not the flowers itself, but like the one that I have at home. It actually came from Sasha, and when Sasha gave it to me, it was half the size with only like 3 leaves, and we had to cut one because it got damaged while we were moving it from his house to my house.
I wanted to keep it, but it's fucking huge.
To be honest, you wouldn't be able to have it in this house, though. Because in your previous house, you had that stairwell where it lived. Because, like, I'm struggling with my high ceilings. It's hitting the ceiling, so I have to... What I do when it grows a new leaf, because each new leaf is higher than the previous one, because it grows from the center. So what I have to do is, once the leaf shoot is quite sturdy in terms of like the actual shoot is sturdy.
And once the leaf plate is out as well.
Yes, I have to put something to like wedge it in between the new shoot and the old shoot so it actually starts pushing the leaf down a little bit so it doesn't grow into the ceiling. And then, because if it grows into the ceiling, it just doesn't open because it gets stuck there and leaf just half opens. It actually happened to my latest leaf, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it still opened up, but there is like a big slice in the middle of the leaf.
Yeah.
And once it actually opens up and starts weighing itself down, I put like a little fishing rod.
Fishing net line.
Fishing line, yeah. I put like a little nail in the purlin and then tie it to the leaf so it actually stays in the same place. It's quite a contraption, but...
yeah, it looks like, like in ancient Egypt when they were using like a pahala.
Like a big fan?
A big fan that would keep you cool. Same.
It's like it's literally above the couch. Like if you're sitting on the couch,
very tropical.
You look up and it's like this massive leaf is just above you. It's beautiful. Like it's probably one of my favorite plants. And thanks to Sasha, he's actually gifted it to me. So yeah, visual 3. In terms of flowering, I would say it's a 1 in terms of how often it flowers.
Well, it will be a 1 until it's indoors. Yes.
Yeah. But in terms of how beautiful the flower is, I'd say it's a 3. Because there is a reason why it's called a bird of paradise, because it looks like a bird when it flowers. I'm actually looking at that picture that Sasha has a print of a bird of paradise.
I do like how people like say, "Oh, bird of paradise." So the right side, like if looking at the picture, sorry guys, I'll maybe post it as.
I'll just put it in the video here.
Yeah. So,
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. So over here.
No, sorry, Exhibit A. Yes, I'll be covered with a picture.
So let's say that the head is pointing towards you. So if this area, for example, that's supposed to be a head, and there's the tail, and then you have like, oh my gosh, what is it? Wings fluffing out. But if you are crazy and slightly stupid like me, you look at it other way, and whatever is a butt of a bird, you look at it as a nose as a beak of the bird, like look over there, and then it looks like a crazy roadrunner.
I've just realized why you sound less loud than I am, because I'm recording it on the wrong track. But I can flip them later.
Okay.
But it's just I'm recording your track on my track and my track on your track because my microphone is louder.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So no, I can fix that, but it's just like I'm like
fix it. Fix it.
Okay. Kier.
Kier. What? Your Kier.
Strelitzia Kier. Yeah, I want your categories.
Sorry. Watering.
Honestly,
You forget.
3. Yeah, you can forget about it and then you're like, oops. But then when you water it, especially the one that I have, like a bucket of water, like literally, I have a bottle, like a standard 1 liter water bottle, and in that pot,
Which
a
is like
bottle and a half goes
20
in every time.
liters.
No, I think it's more.
Yeah. Like the what is it?
I'd say it's a 45.
40 to
I
50
think
liters.
it's a
Yeah.
45-liter pot. So if not more actually. So when I put water in it, I put like a whole bottle and a half, so 1.5 liters of water
And
every
when you
time
think
I
about
water
it, 45-liter pot, 1 liter of water, it's not that much.
it drinks it really fast.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's actually the most thirsty plant in terms of like water per volume that I do.
But also the size of the foliage.
Yeah.
Sun.
Do you know what? I'd say 3 because it's funny. It's right in the middle of the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have like 2 sides have windows in that room, and it's standing right in front of the room. So morning sun, a lot of morning sun. But then that curtain stays closed most of the time because it just otherwise like it gets too sunny in the house and too
Yeah, because that window is right in front of your TV, so it will be glaring.
Yes, and also whenever we use the TV, we have to close that curtain. So it's used to be in full sun and full shade, and it's doing really well still. So yeah, I'd say it's a 3.
It's quite versatile then.
Yeah,
Trimming wise, I don't think
you just
trim.
don't trim it. Trimming wise, you don't trim it, but if you have a dying leaf, and they will die eventually, because I mean everything must die.
All must die.
What's the Valar Morgulis?
Bazar da Harris.
Yeah. Yeah, so if the leaf dies, like half of your green bin is going to be taken by that leaf. So you don't trim it unless your leaf dies. Yeah.
I mean, maybe instead of trimming, you can say, oh, it just takes a lot of effort to fix all those fishing lines to actually fix it to one position.
Yeah. But I guess I only do it because I don't have enough roof. I don't have enough room. But I guess, it depends on where it is. So in terms of care, I'd still say it's in terms of trimming, 3.
Bugs?
Never seen a single bug on it.
The only thing that I can think of that might have problems with is going to be mealybugs. Because I used to be a carer for plants for one of the restaurants, and they had bird of paradise, and it struggled with mealybugs severely.
I do wonder if it struggled with mealybugs because adjacent plants had them as well, and they just so that was like a
probably because the whole thing was just infested, and it was a fucking big battle all the time. All right, and after that we have price tag, which is quite stable, to be honest. For the past 4 years, it haven't really moved.
I'd say they're not cheap to buy. So I'd put them at 2 maybe, because they're not. It's not a 3. It's not like a cheap plant to buy it and buy.
And it's not a 1. It's not like thousands. It's solid $90.
Yeah, and also depends on the size, right? Yeah. In terms of resale value, I'd say it's a 2 as well, because it grows slowly. In my house, it just took off, but in general, because it gives you like a leaf a season, maybe 2 leaves a season.
2 leaves a season, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you to
but also not many people want to buy it.
Not many people will have room for what I have. Yeah.
Unless you're in a North Island, then you can just place it outdoors.
I wonder if it will look that good in the outdoors conditions, because I feel like it will have
My neighbors across the road have bird of paradise, the Strelitzia regali.
Is it like under the
eaves? Yeah. It's fucking huge bush. I'm so jealous.
Go dig it up.
I want to.
Okay.
Is that newbie proof?
I would say yes. I think it's such an easy care plant.
Just don't overwater it.
And maybe get the Reginae one and not the Nicolai, because it's a smaller one. It's more of the Reginae grows to like 2 meters maximum, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also Reginae, I actually had problems with Reginae. I can't grow it. I think Nicolai is better just because it, like, even if you are an avid overwaterer, it just consumes so much water.
Yeah. I actually need to fertilize mine now that I'm thinking about it. Right. That's me.
And me next. So let me just check if
Maybe
that's the
we won't
same.
have time to cover all your 17 plants, so just pick the
Mhm.
ones that you really want to talk about.
Thinanthe dinosaur.
Which one is the dinosaur? Is it the one that I have?
The one that you have that I got a cutting and I finally planted it. The one that is on top of your pantry in your 4-meter high ceilings
So
in a kitchen.
is it the one in the corner or is it the one on
In
the
a
left?
corner without irrigation. Dinosaur, the huge fucking leaves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I gave it a 3 for the visual, just because, like, if you take care of it, it's bushy.
Well, yeah, it's literally on top of my pantry, and I just water it, and it fills that corner so nicely because pantry is your normal height, and then we have so much more room there, and it just fills that corner nicely. And you sit in the kitchen, and you're like, oh, it's quite green in here.
So yeah, it gives you a nice tropical vibe to it.
Yes, and also it's quite filling, like it's quite bushy.
It's very bushy.
Yeah.
I gave it 2 for flowers because it will flower.
It will flower. The
plant next to it,
the flowers are not very prominent though.
they're not.
They look like little. Honestly, do you know what
Pencil shavings.
Yes, and do you know what else they reminded me of? A mantis egg case. Like it kind of
and that too.
it kind of looked like that. Yeah. Because it did flower this season for me, and I was like, "Oh, Sasha, look, there's a flower," and I'm like, "That's not a very exciting flower, but that's okay."
I mean, Calatheas and Thinanthes.
Calatheas have at least they have some color though. Their flowers
true.
are like pinkish, reddish. Yeah.
Then we're going towards the easiness of care of the plant. I would say it was 3 for all of them. For the watering, it's 3 because you can overwater it easily, and once it starts rolling, that's when you water it.
It's a very it's such a drama queen. I usually if I look up on my pantry and I see that plant all rolling up and being water, I'm like, okay, time to water my plant. That's one of my indicator plants.
Yeah,
the other
and
one
then you
is
just
the peace lily.
chuck shit ton of water into it.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Then sun-wise, you can have it in a shady area, and you can have it in almost direct sunlight as you have it.
Mine is direct sunlight, and not the whole plant is in direct sunlight because so we have very high ceiling there, but also there is like a long window just at the top of the roof, so that plant is right in front of that little window.
Yeah, it's very bright in there.
Yeah.
Trimming wise,
I would say a 2.
Yeah.
Because
it does grow like crazy, but if you want to keep the volume, you probably will.
Do you know what I've noticed? If you miss the watering, like once it starts wilting and then you miss that watering, the leaf there's like a folding sort of a breaking point in the leaf, and it just breaks and hangs down. If you water it, the leaf will open up, but it will never go back up. So especially with my pantry, those leaves start hanging over the pantry door, so I have to trim them. I actually gave it a really good cut recently because a lot of leaves.
She's just ruthless with her plants. I can't do that.
It looks good though. It's not as bushy, but honestly, a lot of plants, a lot of leaves, they were just like.
In general, how will you summarize the experience of Sasha having plants?
Yeah.
Bugs wise, I have not seen anything.
Same. Yep.
Evil eye.
Touch wood. Is that even wood? That's MDF.
That's MDF and veneer.
MDF is made out of wood.
Price wise, I actually have never. I can't remember.
I never bought it. Dun dun.
I never bought it either. Dun dun.
No, I mean I've got no idea where because you gave me yours and I've got no idea where it came from.
It was $30 on Black Friday.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's literally just gives you so many cuttings and offshoots you can just propagate to the moon.
That's the beauty with Xenanthes and Calatheas is you can keep splitting them and cutting them and they will just keep growing.
Calatheas.
You've got a Calathea there. You've got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not the happiest ones.
Look, right?
They're alright. Newbie proof, I would say it is newbie proof.
I'm not sure. Don't know. I'd say it's a 2.
I said it's a 3 because once you have something that is indicative that it needs water, like I would rather have something that indicates to me that it actually needs water. So once you see it starting wilting, that's when you water it.
Okay.
And that places the plant in a 22 out of 23.
I wouldn't score it that high if it was me, because I feel like it's still a slightly fussier plant, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Maybe we've got time for one from my side and one from your side.
Yes.
And then, yeah, we actually are hungry because we haven't had dinner yet. As I said,
Hungry,
it's Friday.
people.
We're drinking, but we haven't had dinner yet. I had a sandwich, which was literally bread and
I had chips.
ham and chips. Yes.
Crisps.
Yeah. No, chips. We are not in Britain. Anyway, actually, we have Exhibit A right here.
Begonia.
Cane begonias. So those ones are called cane begonias, also known as angel wing begonias.
This one looks more like a devil's wing.
Yeah, well, the one that I have is angel wing. It doesn't have as many oopsie. Doesn't have as many like points. Mine is like more rounded.
I can bring the angel one if you want.
Nah, it's okay. It's just gonna, with all the wires that are around here, please don't. So yeah, visual. I put it at 2. Because it's not as exciting, but it is like right here. It sits perfectly just in between of us because it's not too bushy.
This one is more exciting than the angel wing that you have. I think it's different variety of cane begonia. This one is
it is a different one, but it's still I'm kind of classifying all of them as cane begonias. Yeah.
This one is just like definitely grows taller and sturdier.
Yeah, it's got because the angel wing begonia is more droopy, like it starts
more like
drooping eventually. Yeah.
This one is more like a
upright kind of.
Upright kind of shrub, yeah.
So I'd say yeah. So you agree on visual being 2? Yeah. Here, let's go with your points.
But it also has a bonus point for flowers, which are cute.
Actually, you are correct, and it flowers like hell. It's free flowering, so it flowers constantly. When it's happy, obviously. It doesn't really flower like at a certain time of the year. It just keeps flowering.
Very messy, though.
Very messy. It keeps dropping the flowers, but it's beautiful. It's like nice, sort of heart-shaped pink flowers.
And besides flowers, it also drops these ones. Leaf sheets. Sheaths.
Oh, the new leaf.
New leaf condoms. Let's call it that.
Okay. With the care, let's go with your...
watering. Easy as,
and it loves a lot of water. Mine drinks a lot of water.
This one I forget to water.
Yeah. Well, I forget to water mine, but also I just chuck a lot of water into it every time I water it. Yeah. So yeah, 3.
Sun, you can have it in the very bright. You can have it in the shady. It doesn't really care. 3. Trimming.
Honestly, 3. Well, okay. In terms of how often you have to trim it, I would say it's 2 because you do have to trim it often, especially with angel wing. With yours, I feel like maybe it grows a little bit slower. But in terms of producing the cuttings from those,
my other angel wing doesn't really grow.
Oh, mine keeps growing and I keep cutting it. Yeah. So I feel like if you are to produce cuttings from that, you will just keep doing it. Yeah. So I'd say 2.
And not much bugs.
I've never seen a single bug on it.
And price-wise?
Bing.
I get it.
Price-wise, cheap as. So, okay, in terms of buying, it's very cheap compared to other houseplants.
Honestly, for this one, you can go for the seedling because it will grow from a seedling very quickly.
Yes, so I'd say price-wise, in terms of the purchase price, it's a 3, so it's a very affordable price. In terms of resale...
Not many people want it.
No, and like you can keep reselling cuttings, but they will be very cheap. So eventually it will pay for itself, I'd say.
Eventually.
Yeah, so in terms of resale value, I'd say it's a 1 actually. Like it's not
gonna sell, to be honest. Not many people want it. Yes, it's easy to propagate. Yes, it's easy to root and make it into a pot, but unless you're a garden center, nobody's gonna be coming to you looking for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Newbie proof?
Very. I'd say it's definitely a 3.
Cool.
It is quite pretty though. I like yours more than on mine. Just because it kind of is upright and
it's more structured.
It's more structured, yeah. The one that I have is a bit more. I also have another one similar looking to this, but like more fine caned, and it's growing with my chiflera actually.
Yeah. I remember.
It must have came from you as well.
It's like yes, it did. It's like angel wing, but with this leaves.
Yeah, but also very like thin cane.
Yeah.
I honestly, it just is in the same pot as chiflera, and it kind of survives there, kind of. But yeah.
Yeah, you see her care about the plants. She's like, it'll survive.
I water it and I give it.
In beach, they grow like crazy.
I water it and I give it like total replenish, which is like a fertilizer that the local box store sells. It's actually an outdoor plant fertilizer, but I fertilize my house plants with it and they love it. Yeah.
Last plant, Monstera adansonii, aka monkey musk.
Ooh, I've got one, so I can talk about it too.
You can talk about it too. I think our scores are going to be very different.
Let's see. So visual, what do you think?
Adansonii visual, I would say 2. It gets very messy very quickly.
Okay, maybe a 2 as well, because it grows really fast and it's a climbing, like, I mean, all monsteras are climbing, but because that grows so fast, it goes up very fast. And once it starts growing up, your leaves are starting to brown off.
Yeah, your bottom leaves starting to brown off.
There's just not enough water to actually deliver. No, mine are actually...
the top ones,
yeah.
Yes.
So you kind of have to constantly keep watering it, but then you also need to make sure that you don't over-water it so roots don't rot.
Essentially you need to keep on trimming it.
Yes. So I'd say, yeah, maybe a 2.
Bonus for flowering, there is no bonus for flowering because it doesn't really flower for me.
I've never seen it flower.
Watering, I say it's 3. It's easy to water. You don't really... depending on your...
Based on my first point, that the fact that it grows fast and tall, I'd say it's a 2. Because I'm very cautious. Like I give it plenty of water, but I'm also cautious not to rot the roots. Yeah.
Same. Like depending on what is your potting mix. For my
it needs to be very well drained.
So we growing our Monsteras adansonii completely different styles. Sasha grows it in a pot. I grow it in a pot on a moss ball, and I water it only from the moss ball. And maybe once a month I would water it in a pot.
Maybe that's why yours doesn't brown off that much, because it receives water around the whole moss ball.
It roots into the moss ball.
Yeah. Well, mine is kind of there because there is that metal frame tulips that I have, and it just kind of uses it as a support for itself.
But I will admit that your Monstera monkey musk leaves are much bigger than mine.
Yeah, maybe it's also in the part shade position. I wonder if it just likes it there. Yeah. Something about my house, eh?
Yeah, something about your house. Neglect.
Well,
sun, I would say it's a 3. You can have it in part shade. You can have it in a kind of bright spot. You can have it in a shady spot. If you have it in a very shady spot, it will start just doing runners.
It will be slower growing as well.
It will not have leaves. It will have those like whiskers growing everywhere.
Speaking of those whiskers, that's what my Rapidiflora is doing. The one that you gave me. It has plenty of sun there, right? But it's mostly it just has a very, very long stem and then a leaf, and a very, very long stem and then a leaf.
I think that main bush needs to be in a more sunny area.
Yeah, honestly, it's like wrapping around my kitchen now. It's gonna stay there. I'm not gonna move it.
Trimming wise, I gave it a 1 because just of how much trimming it needs. Especially you have only 1 main trunk, right?
No, I've got 3 now.
I have like 7 main trunks. So once you have the more main trunks you have, you're gonna get screwed over.
But also, like the more you cut it, once Monsteras are one of those plants that you cut it once and 2 shoots grow up, like a
Hydra.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
Cut 1 head off and 2 will grow.
Yes. My gosh, it's crazy. And then for bugs wise, I have not seen many. If any. Not many, if any.
I don't think I've seen any on my plant, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it in one of the box stores.
Yeah.
I think it was a millibug.
I think it's prone to millibugs as well. Potentially spider mites as well. How many dudes do not grow like this? How many dudes do not grow like this? Not many, if any.
Yo.
And is it price wise?
Do you remember the time? I think it was
when
during
it was $90.
COVID. During COVID, like when COVID when we started easing out from the lockdown, they were so freaking expensive. You know what I did? Do you know how I got my monkey mask?
You got a cutting, yes.
No, I didn't get a cutting. It broke off.
Yes.
I was delivering a plant, and it actually broke off, and I was like, well, it's gonna be a shame throwing it out, right? So, yep.
Ooh, look at this development.
But also at the same time, it's not like I'm selling it, right?
No.
It's just I got it for myself. It's not quite plant pirating.
Newbie proof?
I'd say it's a 2.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like
it needs a right potting mix and right pot
and the right
then
pole as well.
It doesn't have to have a pole. It can be a vining, not vining, but
cascading.
It can be a cascading plant as well.
I'm pretty sure the leaves would be smaller though if it's cascading.
It will be much smaller.
Yeah.
It just depends on what aesthetics are you into, but it can be either. And
well, okay, let's say if you compare Monstera adansonii to Monstera deliciosa, then it's definitely 2. Because Monstera deliciosa is a 3 in terms of newbie proof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not as newbie proof as Monstera deliciosa.
A little bit more finicky, just like even thinking logically. The leaf is thinner, the stem is thinner, the roots are finer, so not much space there to make a mistake. If you overwater it, it will rot.
Yeah. And I would say it does have the same problem with those aerial roots, where like if you have it next to a wall, just keep an eye on your roots because they will start clinging to your wall too.
At least it doesn't shoot them off. At least they don't grow as long as the Monstera deliciosa.
If you don't let it, because I let mine grow, like it wasn't too long, but it was relatively long for the size of the plant. And I had to like rip it off my wall again.
I mean, for Monstera deliciosa, it can be up to like the longest I've seen was like 1.5 meters, just aerial root.
But I also feel like Monstera deliciosa ones are more like invasive in terms of like how they attack your wall and how they cling to your wall.
Like I've seen a video where the root literally got into under somebody's carpet.
Yes. Oh, exactly that. Ooh, somebody used our promotion code. Anyways, the carpet. So Vienna Street, where we used to live.
Previous house, yes.
Yes, so apparently the original owner, way before he bought the house, the one that we bought now, he used to have a Monstera there, and it did grow under the carpet, like exactly the same thing happened. Because if you have any ways of the roots escaping the pot, or even if it's a plastic pot, it can actually break through that pot, escape, and go under the carpet. And when you'll be ripping it out, you will be replacing your carpet too.
And potentially home.
It's gonna take over.
I think I wanted to give one more plant, which is going to be Phalaenopsis orchid.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that as a last plant, and then we will wrap it up and go eat, please.
Wrap it up. Rapida. Phalaenopsis score visual 3, plus a bonus 3 for flowers.
Honestly, yes, 3 for flowers. Visually as well. Again, mine is suspended from the ceiling, and even without a flower, it looks really good. Just
it's
the leaves.
Neat.
Yeah, it's neat. It's tidy, and yeah.
Unless your roots are going crazy, but also you can trim them.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, for the visual, for the bonus 3, and then
it also flowers every season, like on schedule.
On schedule.
Yeah.
Watering, I would give it 1.
I'd say so.
If you get it, you're great. If you don't get it, it's going to be fucking destroyed in no time.
I will definitely say a 1, simply because mine is again hanging from the ceiling, and for me to water it, I need to climb up on my couch and then on the little half wall and then take it off.
It's
and then
not
take
about
it
your
to
choices where you've placed it. It's about how easy it is to water the plant.
Yeah, but also it's not easy because you actually have to take it out of your pot and put it under the running water, or put it in a bucket and let it sit there and then take it out. Like, your orchids should never be in stagnant water for more than like an hour.
I left it for a day. It's fine.
But like, you shouldn't.
you shouldn't, but I did. But it's fine. But yes, don't leave your orchids like submerged for a prolonged period of
Yeah,
time
'cause
because they will rot.
Yeah, the leaves, you'll see it in the leaves. If your leaves look very droopy and very like
Wrinkly.
spongy, and like you can actually feel that they've got too much water in them, they're not as hard and as like, yeah.
I would really recommend not growing your orchids in pots that are not transparent, even though you are growing them in ceramic pots.
Yeah, but I have very loose bark in it,
Yeah.
so that kind of compensates for it. And also, yeah, your orchids should really be grown in orchid mix, which is mostly bark.
Like there is no soil in there. It's,
Yeah.
it's literally just loose
I mean,
bark.
orchids are epiphytes, so orchids in the wild, they actually grow without soil on other things. So you kind of have to preserve that as well. And hence Sasha is saying that it's best to grow it in a transparent pot because when it grows in the wild, the roots are exposed to the sun. So hence, if you have it in a transparent pot, you are recreating that environment.
And also, it's easier for you to monitor if you're overwatering it, and if it's rotting, how many alive roots do you have left?
Yeah, I'll keep my question until we reach that point in your scoring.
Then we have a sun, which I would say it's a 3 because you just.
Do you reckon it grows in full sun?
My other one was.
Okay, I would say it's a 2 because I think it prefers
Full sun, but with a sheer curtain. Because you will burn it if it will be full sun direct.
Yeah, well, same for like most of your house plants. Yeah.
Trimming wise, you don't have to trim it. The only thing you need to trim is once it stops
stem,
flowering.
Yeah, or like leaves that are sort of cracking and dying.
Which you need to do it with any plants.
Yeah.
And then we have bugs. I've never had any bugs with it.
That's what my question was. So I had bugs in the.
In a bark.
Yeah, but it's not like a.
It's the springtails.
They are not killing the plant. They just like the moisture, and
they're helping to decompose the bark,
yes,
releasing the nutrients.
Yeah, so they're
those usually are springtails.
They're like tiny little ones. Like if you water your orchid, and if you put like a, there was a fly or something.
Boogers.
Yeah. And if you water your orchid and you put like a little dish under, you'll see a few of them just floating in the water. They're just little tiny like jumping insects, but
whitish.
But they're not pests on your plant, as Sasha said. They help your bark to decompose. Yeah.
There is another one, which is price.
To be honest, Phalaenopsis are not expensive.
Especially if you go to the clearance when people who are supposed to be carrying in the box store for that kind of killing it, and then they put it on clearance for $5, and then you get it, and then you revive it.
And Sasha is talking mostly about like the massive box stores that sell everything. If you go to a plant box store, that's a different story. But if you actually go to like in New Zealand, if you go to a warehouse, let's say, this is where this is
where you can get yourself a deal for like an orchid for $5 to $10. And yes, it's going to be a little bit sad, but
it just needs a bit of TLC, and it will be back to it.
It's not going to take you long before it actually starts flowering again.
Yeah.
And for the newbie proof, I would say it's 1.5 probably.
I would say it's a 2. With Phalaenopsis, honestly, the only thing that you need to remember is the watering and how to water it. So if somebody tells you how to do that, you will be sweet. Yeah. And also just actually feeding it from time to time, giving it fertilizer.
That scoring does not apply to other types of orchids.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Going to be fucked up.
Yes.
Like, I'm so lucky that some of them are still alive.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
Phalaenopsis are very easy care, but obviously you have different. There are so many orchids. Actually, if you are interested, we did do an episode on orchids, which both of us actually found really, really interesting to do research for.
My orchid from North Island have died on the outside. It's fine.
Okay, you'll have another trip up there.
One day.
Yeah. Cool. Do the honors.
This is the wrap on Two Tipsy Plants podcast. And thank you very much for joining us on our tipsy adventures. And if you would like to support our podcast, please join us on our Instagram, join us on our Spotify or any other streaming platform.
We are actually on a lot of streaming platforms. So mostly Spotify is our biggest platform. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Podcasts, which are moving to YouTube. If you don't know, Google Podcasts are going to be discontinued and you can listen to your podcast through YouTube. On YouTube, we have both the audio version and
the
video version.
And Spotify has videos as well, if you didn't notice.
Yes, so it's just us sitting here talking. But to be honest, when I watch podcasts, I don't know, you feel like you're a part of conversation and you see these people in
it is a
front
bit
of
more
you.
personable, and it is a bit more like you are more involved and you see people's emotions and you see people like actually having fun.
Yeah, and we are also on Prime Music and Audible. And some other platforms that just get distributed there automatically. So yeah, we do appreciate your support. And
this is a wrap.
on Two Tipsy Plants, keep it green
and keep it tipsy.